Alright everybody, welcome back to Esports Roundup, where I recap this week in esports. It's been a minute since I did a regular episode. I've been kind of busy, but I've been also sort of slacking off. Last week I released a special episode about my thoughts on the Esports World Cup and the participation of teams therein. Today, back to same old. We got our topics, we're gonna do our tournament section, and I would say let's just get right into it. Alright, starting with... Move over, Euros. Yup. FIFA, mostly they're as a soccer organization, has announced the creation of a World Cup for Rocket League. So it's gonna be the FIFA E World Cup or something like that. That's what it's featuring Rocket League. It's like a Fortnite situation, sort of. You have to make it featuring whatever. They're both owned by Epic Games, so it makes sense. This is going to be the second attempt at a World Cup. There's been the Intel World Cup before for Rocket League, but this is the second really big, attempt to make a World Cup, to make national team Rocket League work. And it's made by FIFA. People legitimately have beef with FIFA because of the corruption and all that sort of stuff, etc., etc. But it is a very prestigious organization, and I think it brings a lot of legitimacy to that esport. And it's kind of a move we're seeing of integrating esports into real sports more and more, I'd say. Because now the IOC is talking about adding some, actual real esports to the Olympics, and it's oh, we might be close to having sports and esports on the same scene, on the same on the same events. So that's really interesting. I think it's really exciting for Rocket League fans and Rocket League players, because it might just become the most prestigious Rocket League tournament. Who knows? Maybe it's still the RLCS, but I think it's a great idea, and I'm excited to see what happens. Alright, topic number 2, stack the deck. Yes, Amouranth has joined a Houston org, Wildcard Gaming, as a co-owner. Wildcard just went through a big rebrand, in my opinion. The new logo and branding looks a lot better. I've known Wildcard for a while because of their Dota team. The logo was kind of whatever. They had some really cool teams. They didn't have the most success, but they're not in Dota anymore. They're invested in Counter-Strike and a bunch of other esports. And yeah, Amouranth joins Wildcard as a co-owner. And this is something we're seeing more and more. The streamer, content creator, esports team. Now, the team's not branded after her or whatever, but you got your DSGs, your Disguised Toast teams, you got the Moist Moguls, Charlie and Ludwig, all that sort of stuff. It's becoming more and more popular. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Amouranth, she's a business mogul. We know this, right? She runs a freaking gas station or something. So she's pretty savvy in the ways of making business. So I think this is probably a good collaboration. I'm excited to see how it works out. And yeah, let's see if Wildcard makes any big signings, what they're going to do moving forward, how she's going to be integrated into maybe content or whatever. But I think this is very promising. And yeah, let's see what they do with it. Alright, for topic number 3, the stand-in situation. Okay, this is a Dota topic, so I'm pretty knowledgeable on this one. Alright, the closed qualifiers for the international just happened, and this one's related to the European closed qualifier, more specifically OG, because Seb had to miss a game to witness the birth of his child. Now, for that game that he missed, they got a stand-in. No big deal, right? They get a stand-in. Everything's good and well, right? Nah, not quite, because they would only let them use the stand-in for that one game against Nigma Galaxy, and for the next game, since they beat Nigma Galaxy and I believe the lower bracket, for the next game, they were not permitted a stand-in. They were only permitted a stand-in for one game, which meant either they get disqualified or Seb stops being with his newborn child to play Dota. And how did we get here? I mean, this was outlined before the tournament, right? They were pretty clear on it, PGL, towards OG, that they're not going to be making an exception, that they're not going to give them another stand-in, that they're not going to let them use the same stand-in twice or whatever. But the question is why. It's not like OG sprung this on them. in their statement, they were pretty upfront about the fact that they were like, hey, we communicated with PGL for a while because, you know, a due date does exist. People like are like, hey, this is probably gonna happen during the close qualifiers. And it was like, they didn't really even have the option to sign up with a different roster. Like, you could have just said, okay, then play the qualifiers without Seb entirely, which is like, that's totally fair, right? But since they were invited to the closed qualifiers, I'm fairly sure they couldn't even do that. So yeah, kind of not the move on PGL's side to make Seb choose between playing the qualifiers and being with his newborn child and wife. So yeah, what happened? Seb played the freaking game. They lost to Navi Jr. I think it was a 2-0. Great games, by the way, if anyone wants to watch. But that's truly unfortunate that it had to happen this way. In my opinion, PGL should have made an exception like way before the qualifiers even happened, because it's just not necessary. You don't like why how could you do that? How could you put Seb in a position like that? And that's coming from like the biggest OG hater, the biggest Seb hater in the world, from me. But like, dude, you can't make him choose. You can't make him like choose between like getting his team disqualified and being there for his wife and child. So yeah, a truly unfortunate situation. You know, he did go to bat. He did play. They lost. Unfortunate. That's how it is. But yeah, also Snaking got pretty involved on Twitter. He was going in on OG. I don't know. He was hating, man. It was crazy. I don't know why. I think he deserves to talk his shit, honestly, because he's like on the best team right now. But at the same time, it seemed kind of weird and out of place. We've had happen the RLCS London and G2 Esports Stride won. The first time a North American team has won a RLCS major since 2022, I believe. Congratulations to G2 Esports Stride. Okay, moving on. We've had the closed qualifiers happen for the International. I'm just going to go over all the teams. In North America, Nouns won. Congratulations to Nouns. In South America, Heroic and Beast Coast qualified. Congratulations to them. In Western Europe, Entity and Tundra qualified. Congratulations to them. In Eastern Europe, OneWin won. Congratulations to them. And in China, Team Zero, I believe. It's the Pano team. The Pano team, Team Zero, I want to say. And G2IG won. Congratulations to them. And finally, in Southeast Asia, Talon and Aurora qualified. Congratulations to them. Moving on to the StarCraft World Team League, still happening. I've got a standings update for you. Team Vitality is still in first, but on the bottom, some stuff has changed. Offside plus Gabe is now in last. And yeah, then we've also had happen, I believe this was like a week ago or so, but I didn't go live with Esports Roundup, so I didn't talk about it, but you gotta talk about it because it's important. We've had Tipped Off happen by Nouns, actually. I talked about this at some point. They did sponsor the event, and Mango won. Congratulations to the GOAT, taking home another trophy. Truly, Father's Day Mango, he's different. And yeah, that's all for me. A bit of a short tournament section, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.